Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining me today because we have some very exciting General Hospital news to talk about, and it's definitely worth the wait. Hey folks, let me tell you something that's been on my mind lately while I've been catching up on General Hospital. You know, I've been watching that show for years, and just when I think the Quartermaine family can't surprise me anymore, they pull out something like this. Tracy Quartermaine might actually step up and admit she was the one driving in that car accident. Can you believe it? That tough old bird is ready to take the heat to protect her granddaughter, Brooklyn. Man, that hits me right in the heart. See, Brooklyn's been carrying this heavy secret ever since that night. She saw Jordan and Curtis's car swerve into her lane, tried to avoid them, and ended up hitting the guardrail. It was dark. She was in a hurry to get to Charlie's pub to watch her son Gio perform for the first time in a long while. And yeah, she'd had a glass of wine earlier while chatting with Lucy Coe. Nothing crazy, but enough to make things complicated. Poor girl was torn up inside. She wanted to stop and help, but everything happened so fast. When Brooklyn finally told her grandma Tracy about it, that lady didn't hesitate for a second. She told her straight, "Don't you go talking to the police." Tracy's always been like that, fierce when it comes to family. She knows if Brooklyn admits she was drinking, even just one glass, it could ruin everything. Her chance to keep being a foster mom to little Phoebe and any hope of adopting in the future. That's a big deal for a mother's heart, you know? I've seen enough in life to understand why Tracy would say, "We protect our own." But now things are heating up. There's paint from a car left on that guardrail, and it looks like it might match Brooklyn's. Lucy might end up telling the PCPD what she knows too. So Tracy's thinking about coming forward herself, saying she was behind the wheel that night. Lord, that woman never stops fighting for her family. She's a real force of nature, that Tracy. I gotta say, watching this unfold makes me smile and shake my head at the same time. Family in Port Charles is messy, loud, and full of mistakes just like real life. But when push comes to shove, they stand together. Tracy's not perfect. None of us are. But her love for Brooklyn and that whole crazy Quartermaine clan, it's the kind of loyalty that makes you feel warm inside. I tell you what, things are really heating up at the Quartermaine house right about now, and I'm sitting here glued to my screen, wondering how in the world they're going to untangle this mess. The police have finally decided to pay the family a visit to dig even deeper into that car accident, asking all kinds of questions and poking around like they smell something off. You can just feel the air get thick with worry the second those cops pull up the driveway. Curtis is over there convinced that Isaiah Gannon had something to do with it. He's pointing fingers and saying that man might be the one who caused all the trouble. But deep down, I've got this strong feeling Isaiah's not the guy they're after. Wrong place at the wrong time, sure, but I don't see him as the driver who left that whole scene in chaos. It's just one more layer of confusion in an already complicated story. Then there's what happened the other day when Michael Corinthos came around asking about Brooklyn's car. Tracy didn't even blink. She jumped right in and spun a quick little lie, smooth as butter, telling him the car was off at the shop, getting a good thorough wash and detail. Lord, that woman can think on her feet when family's on the line. But here's the truth we all know. That car's got real damage on the side from the crash. And right now they're busy fixing up every dent and scrape so nobody notices. It makes you stop and think, could that be the big clue that pushes the whole plot forward? If the lab finishes testing that paint scrap they found on the guardrail and it matches up perfectly to Brooklyn's vehicle, well, the game changes in a hurry. I keep turning it over in my mind. Will Tracy actually step forward and say it was me behind the wheel that night? She loves that granddaughter of hers something fierce, and she's always been the one to stand up and take the hit when the family needs protecting. I can picture her doing it, straightening her shoulders, looking the police dead in the eye, and owning the whole thing just to keep Brooklyn safe. But man, that's a heavy load to carry. Will she really accept the blame, knowing what it could cost her? And what kind of trouble is she looking at anyway? People keep reminding everyone that Jordan was the one who lost focus and swerved first. And the real wrong was driving off without stopping to help or call for assistance. That part feels pretty clear-cut to me. Still, Brooklyn's situation sits different in my heart. She'd had that glass of wine earlier, and with her working so hard to be a foster mom to little Phoebe and hoping with all her might to adopt soon, one slip like that could slam every door shut on her dreams of raising those kids. Tracy knows it too. That's why she's fighting so hard. But here's the part that really tugs at me, because Tracy waited too long before stepping in to help. The consequences might end up way bigger and scarier than she ever figured. In a long-running show like this, small choices snowball fast, and now she could be walking straight into a storm she didn't see coming. I swear, it makes my chest tighten thinking about it. She's used to being the boss, the protector, the one who fixes everything with a sharp word and a plan, but this time the walls might be closing in tighter than she ever imagined. Watching Tracy wrestle with all of this just reminds me how messy family love can get. You do what you think is right in the moment to shield the people you care about, and before you know it, the trouble doubles back on you. I've seen enough real-life situations like that, folks bending the rules for their kids or grandkids, only to find the price tag higher than they bargained for. My heart's with Brooklyn, too. She's been carrying this secret like a stone in her pocket, and now her grandma might have to pay for both of them. It's the kind of twist that keeps you coming back, wondering if blood really is thicker than water, and whether love can cover over every mistake. These Quartermaine women are tough as nails, but even nails can bend when the pressure gets this heavy. I'm just hoping they find a way through it without losing too much along the way. I see Tracy going all out for Brooklyn like this, and it really warms my heart. That's pure grandmother love right there, the kind that makes you willing to move heaven and earth for your grandbaby. Sure, Tracy's always been sharp and calculating, always got some scheme cooking in that head of hers, but underneath all that, she still has a good heart. She's not cold like some folks think. When it comes to family, that woman would lay down everything she has, and watching her do it for Brooklyn just proves it still. I worry a lot. Everybody's scared that someday somebody might drag solid proof into court showing Brooklyn was the one who caused that accident. One wrong piece of evidence, one loose tongue, and the whole thing could blow up in their faces. Then what? Tracy's no spring chicken anymore. She's getting up there in years. How's an older lady like her supposed to handle jail time? Just thinking about it makes me feel sad. She's tough, yeah, but prison? That's too heavy for a grandma who's only trying to protect her own blood. It breaks my heart imagining her in that kind of trouble. I keep wondering what would happen if Jordan and Curtis decided to let it go. What if they found it in their hearts to forgive and just stop chasing this accident altogether? Wouldn't that be something? Maybe they'd understand it was dark, mistakes were made on all sides, and nobody wanted anyone to get hurt. Jordan swerved first, after all. If they chose mercy instead of more pain, the whole Quartermaine family could finally breathe again. Brooklyn could keep focusing on little Phoebe and her dreams of adopting without this dark cloud hanging over her head. Tracy taking the blame shows how deep a grandma's love runs, even if her methods are sneaky sometimes. She still got that goodness inside, the part that puts family first no matter what. But man, I sure hope it doesn't cost her more than she can bear. These older folks have already lived through enough storms. They deserve some peace, not handcuffs in courtrooms. My heart's with all of them on this one, hoping for a little grace in poor Charles before things get any worse. You watch. This story's going to get even more interesting. I can't wait to see what happens next. If there's one thing General Hospital always reminds me of, it's that blood is thicker than water, and a grandma's love can move mountains. What a ride, huh?